Hello and welcome back to Love Letters to Lois by Art. This is a true first-hand account story of the innermost thoughts of Art, my grandfather, to Lois, my grandmother, written back in 1944 when he was serving in the United States Marine Corps. Just to recap the story thus far, Art and Lois met by chance at a church. Lois was serving food and he was a hungry Marine and went in to be fed. They exchanged addresses and they met each other and spent 3 lovely days with each other. And then the next day, Art had to go to California to report for a special school in the military. And Lois and Art have been corresponding since, and it's been 2 weeks since they've seen each other. This week's letter was written by Art on Saturday night, April 29th, 1944. And it begins, "Dearest Lois, I feel terribly lonely for you this evening. It being Saturday night, the barracks is absolutely empty and I'm all alone with my thoughts by myself. Really shouldn't be feeling that way after receiving those swell letters from you, but I can't help but think about being in Washington with you tonight. Sherman sure was right when he said war is hell. 2 of your letters were old. The one that was typed sure had me worried for a while, especially after reading Dear Art and then hearing you weren't getting any mail from me. My heart began to sink down until I saw your 3rd letter. That had my right address on it. I commenced tearing that one apart pronto. Boy, I guess you could know it was a real red letter day for me. Felt really relieved to know my first letter arrived there. Sounds bad you going all the way home to get my letter, hun. I love it. Tell me more. Things like that make a fellow's insides jump a little bit. Honey, I'd love to go down to Williamsburg on that day you said, but heck, Lois, traveling back across the country's going to take about 5 days. That sort of puts a crimp on things getting there for the 20th, maybe for the 27th, as that's the first weekend in June, positively. Hope news doesn't upset the plans, darling, because it's going to be impossible for me to get there for the 20th. Look, Lois, I don't care when you're in Virginia, because I'll get there when I get back if I must use a pack mule. Honey, do you suppose you could change dates just a bit, as I'd very much like to meet your sis and your family? Let me know, huh? One thing was missing in your letter. What did you do over the weekend? I see from your letter you're still not doing much at work. Made up a cheesy game while at work rather takes the cake. I wish you were out here. I would keep you busy. I'd be having you type my home lessons every night. How would you like that? Then this weekend, you could help me study. Heck of a lot of studying I'd be doing. I'd take one look at the book, one look at you, and the book would be flying. Next thing I'd know, you'd be telling me my liberty is up. Darling, I'd just give anything to have you in my arms tonight. The more I think of you, the more it hurts. And to think that school is going to last 4 more weeks. Oh well, that's much more we'll have to just make up for. So what? School was rather tough this afternoon because of the exams. I sweated through a few questions, but I believe I came out pretty good. We'll know for sure on Monday. This morning's instructor was really dry. Talked in a monotone, and with the warm sunshine, yours truly fell asleep. Had myself really bound up and was given an extra assignment. I usually don't do that, but I've been studying pretty late at night, and my eyelids just had weights attached to them. When I finish this letter, aim to crawl in my sack and stay there until noon tomorrow. Was gonna go on Liberty, but my financial status is again 0. Had to pay for my laundry today, and that just put the last touch on my pocket. Should be paid Monday, as some of the boys I know in the other classes received their checks from Norfolk today. We'll still take some pictures tonight on that base. Oh yeah, I had a little fall today at exercises. Going through the obstacle course, I leaped over the water barrier, got my toe caught in a sandbag on top, and down I went. One side of my leg looks like someone used sandpaper all over it. Darling, even though you told me you love me, please tell me in every letter. I want to hear it over and over again. I only wish I could tell you how much I really am in love with you. Writing to you this way drives me crazy because nothing I put down seems to express my true thoughts that are constantly drumming through my head. Maybe you understand. Hope so, at my rate. I have so much to say to you, honey, but we'll save it for tomorrow. Writing to you is so damn easy. I could just keep writing and writing. Every time I get stuck, I simply look at your picture and words start forming. Writing letters at one time would have started me boiling, but to you, it's a cinch. Darling, was wondering if possible you could send me a snapshot or two of yourself so I could carry it in my wallet. Please, if you can, will you do it for me? I think I'll go to bed now and think about you. Do it every night, and it's such a pleasant way to go to sleep. All good thoughts, of course. Send a few kisses my way in the next letter. Night. With all of my love, Art. P.S. Regards to the girls, and a special hello to Alice. I have only 2 questions this week. The first is, what is a pack mule? I mean, I know 1944 was a long time ago, but I just can't picture my grandfather traveling on a mule. I'm thinking it's slang for some kind of upgraded vehicle. And the second question, who is Alice? Last week, I found out that my grandfather was stationed in a fake city called Wonderland, and now this week I find out that Lois has somebody in her life named Alice. What a coincidence. This is just so interesting. Concluding thoughts. I feel sad after today's letter with Art. I feel sad he's all alone on a Saturday night while the rest of the boys are on liberty. I feel motherly concern that he's so tired from staying up late studying that he falls asleep in a warm class with a dry monotone teacher. I feel compassion that he worries a lot and is not knowing where Lois's mind is at, and he has to wait for her letters and the mail and their addresses get all mixed up, and it takes time for their letters to catch up with each other. And I feel deep understanding that he expresses that words are just simply insufficient for him to express his love for her. Truly, language does have its limitations and discussions that matter. Well, that concludes letter 6 of Letters to Lois by Art. I'm Deborah, and I will see you next week for letter number 7. Have a beautiful week, and God bless.